You know, sometimes your support decides that it's a good idea to push the enemies into you, for whatever reason. Oh no, don't send them towards me, what are you doing? And sometimes you ping that the enemy support is missing, and your mid laner dies anyway, because he didn't back off in time. Yeah, when this happens, you're probably like, doesn't matter what I do this game anymore, right? It's lost anyway. Well, I'm here to show you that it's not really like that. I'll show you a game where this exact scenario happened, and let me tell you this. After you are done watching this video, I guarantee that you will learn something from it. It doesn't matter what your current elo is. You know why? Because this game was played in Master Elo, which is considered to be high elo, but in reality it ain't too different from any other game. After all, the only difference between a Challenger player and a Bronze player is that the Challenger player eats a bit less. But what's important is that the same mistakes happen all the time. And I make those mistakes myself, but because I learned from them over the years, I make them less often now. And I can predict when they're about to happen so I can avoid them. So the game just started and we are already running into problems. After leashing our jungler, the enemy bot lane is nowhere to be seen. This only means one thing, they are probably cheesing. Throughout the video I will be showing you multiple examples of mistakes I was making and what to do to fix them. Here's a good example of how you should avoid this scenario. They might be here, I can't check alone. I died so many times to this brush, I don't wanna check. Until I see them I don't walk up. Like you see, I'm learning the game. Yeah, so basically that's what we do this game as well. Although Pyke couldn't resist me, so he called upon the hitbox gods to hook me. Did I see them? I'm not stepping up. It's that simple. How do you hook me, bro? Thanks. Basically, this whole laning phase is no more than us trying to poke them because we have the high range, but also we need to constantly watch out for Pyke's engage. Besides his hook, his other threat at level 2 is the fact that he can E-flash to stun us. To avoid this, you can either stay away or be an idiot like me and flash. Now I need to tell you something about farming under turret. You need around 20 AD or so, basically 2 longswords, in order to one-hit caster minions after 1 turret shot. Until then, you should expect your support to help you farm, and you can also ping the minions who want them to hit, it usually works pretty well. Now while this is happening, we need to remember to ping that Pyke when roaming, just so our mid laner doesn't die. In this game they die anyway, but it's a good habit to have. Can't ping anymore, no. Or just goes mid. I mean, we did warn him, you know, we did warn him. Good job, team. I mean, we did warn you, I pinged the heck out of them. This is a good time to remind you that the only thing that matters in solo queue is that you improve a little bit every game. It doesn't matter what your teammates do, you can't control their keyboard and mouse. If you don't int, you probably win a lot more than if you int. But yeah, in this fight for example, remember that level 2 Pyke engage? I remember that he used flash there, so now I can use my Chompers behind him to secure an easy kill that the enemies didn't even see coming. He's gonna flash, so we get our flash here to KW. So now we shove the wave in so Kai'Sa is busy clearing the minions so we can take our recall for free. While this is happening, we need to remember that Pyke is roaming around all the time, so we need to keep reminding our mid laner about that, because otherwise he's gonna die. Of course he's gonna roam Zeratin to get used to it. Can't do much more than ping this sorry man. I keep pinging that he's missing, still gets caught, like what's happening? Well again, you can't control teammates, all I can do is all I can do, I'd better focus on my own lane. Now, I will teach you a bit about wave control. Basically, if you can freeze or slow push, you want to freeze or slow push, it's that simple. Let me explain. Here, Kai'Sa is forced to walk up if she wants to farm, putting her in a really vulnerable position, aka Viego can just gank for free. It's that simple, you just last hit only, and you win the game. Pyke is in the brush, really, lane brush. Well, Kai'Sa is not getting any farms, it's fine. Okay, another thing about wave control. This is about pushing. In this case, we see that the enemy support is roaming mid lane, which means we can shove the wave to get plates, and Kai'Sa can't do anything about it alone.
What? Children don't talk to you?
Another great thing about pushing is the fact that you have prio, so you can move around the map without having to worry about farming your wave. In this case, we see that Viego is bot, so we just get a free Drake. After that, we shove the next wave and recall because we have plenty of gold. Well, everything is great so far, right? Well, just watch my support does next. Oh no, don't send them towards me, what are you doing? Jana! What are you doing, Jana? Hello? Huh? I thought you were a good player, what are you doing to me? Oh, what? Like what support pushes the enemies into you? Oh, no, she probably wanted to push the enemies into her turret, but you don't do that when you kill me for it. Well, anyway, you can control the teammates. We move on to some bot lane fiesta. Here, I want to talk about how to deal damage as an ADC in the early game. We all know how much damage an ADC can deal late in the game with just basic attacks, but early on, you have to make sure you land your abilities. You can't just rely on basic attacks. An easy way to guarantee landing your skill shots is by using them on a stun target. In this case, after Janna uses her Q to knock out Pyke, I can just use W and hit it guaranteed. If you don't do this, you risk missing them otherwise. Good job. Get that second right now. Oh guys, a great time to remind you. Watch out where you're recalling. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Really? Really? She does that? My bad. I really doubted they would try anything. I guess it kinda makes sense. After we got Drake, they knew Viego wanted to farm the jungle so they could evade him. Yeah, I guess it makes sense.
Back in action. Miss me?
Okay, time to talk about mid-game. If you've been subscribed to my channel, you probably saw these two videos. They're about early, mid and late game. Basically, the mid-game starts when one of the bot lane turrets falls. That's when ADC start going mid lane. Why mid lane? Well, it's because the middle of the lane, aka where minions meet up, is closer to our turret, so we are overall safer. Besides that, I see this as some sort of chess game. If you played chess before, you probably know that whoever controls the middle of the board has an advantage. So if we move more pieces to the middle, we should be in a better spot. Our ADC is safer, our support can roam better, and we can go on skirmishes once we shove the midway. But that's just in general. There are some exceptions, like in this game, for example. Because every enemy can 1v1 me, and I have Evelyn and Pyke, which are stealth champions, I can't just walk up alone and grab the wave, because they might be there just waiting for me. So instead of farming every mid-wave, it's probably better to stay around Janna, because even though she killed me in the early game, she's the only hope I have surviving Evelyn. I'll just follow my Janna for now. Oh. That's funny. Okay, that happened. Like, rather than farming alone, I'll just follow Janna wherever she goes, because that way I know I'm not gonna die ever. I'm gonna go next to my Janna to avoid disaster. I guess it didn't matter this time. Okay, look. This video implies that I fixed the mistakes I was making, and yet here I am alone on mid lane, after I said I was going to follow Janna all game long like a dog. You need to understand this, okay? We all make mistakes. But as we improve, we don't get rid of those mistakes entirely. We just make them less often. And this is why you shouldn't flame your teammates all the time when they make mistakes. At the end of the day, keeping your mentality positive helps you so much. Now that we can approach the rest of this game with a positive mentality, let's talk about teamfighting. As an ADC, especially Jinx, usually just stay max range and basic attack while avoiding enemy threats. In our case, the biggest threats are GP barrels and CC abilities like Pyke's Hook and Darius Charm. So we need to watch out for those. Mid vision, because this is GP throwing barrels at us. No stop. Gotcha, I don't care. Okay, we did it. Need to move together. Otherwise stuff like that might happen, you know? You know? That's why. Another important thing is that you just don't wanna get caught like this guy. Remember, if you int less than your enemies, you win. Especially this late into a game where a single team fight can just end the game. What do you think I waited under turret for my team to come, you know? So that doesn't happen. And now I hope you'll be able to see that this game ends just because the enemies are inting way more than us. And that's basically every league game, honestly. All you have to do is focus on not making mistakes and you should be fine, you should climb, honestly. That's the ulti, let's go, she's inting, good job. Gotta watch out for the barrels though. Who's alive? 3 of them. Only GP barrels can kill us now. Oh, Pike, you are killing me. Go J up, I don't care how to play. I can go crazy now. GG. Oh, you can actually carry games as Jinx if you actually try. How do people play more than 10 games a day? Okay, so it's the next day and I discovered how people play 10 games a day. Yesterday, after editing the first part of this video, I played some solo queue. And I won 100 LP. Who would have thought that if you played off stream without music you actually play better? I guess that's what I was doing wrong in the last couple of months. One tip I have for you is that if you want to climb, you'd better be 100% focused on what you do. I mean, even Faker said that he doesn't play with music because it's too distracting. Okay, moving on. The last game I just showed you only covered some of the basics. I have some more advanced stuff that I want to show you. A lot of it's about Jinx, because originally this video was supposed to be about Jinx tips and tricks you didn't know about. But I just had more inspiration, so I remade it into this video. And part of me regrets it because it takes so much time to edit this stuff, honestly. Anyway, first I want to show you my runes and build I use. A lot of people argue that this is not the best setup for her. Even Freak said that Static Shiv is best in slot for her.
Static Shiv is actually quite performant on many marksmen. Its purchase rate plummeted because it was really bad on the first patch it came out. This item is now quite strong, not just on the like hybrid AP Kaisa builds, but it is best in slot on Jinx. It is best in slot on Sivir.
I don't know if I should believe him, because I've proven that you can reach Challenger if you play with my setup, so it can't be that bad, right? The first tip I have about Jinx is one that not many people know. First off, everybody knows that after stacking your minigun passive and you swap to rockets, you keep that attack speed bonus for the first rocket you shoot, but not the rest. But if you do the opposite, meaning you are shooting your rockets, then you swap to your minigun when in range, you actually get a basic attack reset. And if you combine these two tips together and add some Ghost and Kraken Slayer to the mix, the enemies can get rid of you. This is why we take Ghost on Jinx, we chase enemies down, you know. Another important thing that you should know is that the skin you use actually matters quite a bit. Because you need to be able to see if you crit right away when you auto-attack. Because otherwise you might waste a basic attack on a target that is already dead. If you look at the default skin, it's not that obvious when you crit compared to Star Guardian. If you look here, normal rockets are pink, but crits are black and way larger and way easier to see, and honestly, it helps me a lot. Whenever I'm not using this skin, I just play worse. Next up, I'll tell you not to panic around melee champions if you have your Chompers up. And there's not much explaining to do, just kite around those Chompers because they can stop any dash, so melee champions are doomed. They can't really kill you if you play it properly. I can outplay this. It's time for my favorite part of Jinx's kit, her ultimate. She is, in my opinion, one of the best ADCs out there just because she can get random kills with her ult. Every time I get level 6, you see me scout around the map. Always, like no matter what, it's just a habit at this point, and it got me so many free kills, it's just crazy how OP it is. And while we are talking about her ultimate, did you know that it also acts as a smite? No, really, like, when you know the enemies are going for Drake, just throw your ult in there. It never hurts to try, you never know when you're gonna get it. I'm gonna steal it, why not? I can steal it if I need to farm.
guilty about it.
I can steal it while farming, big brain. Okay, another weird thing about Jinx. This is probably a bug. You don't get passive from Rift Herald if you only hit the eye once and it dies. It's really weird. So to prevent this, you need to hit it once and then you can hit the eye and actually get passive. And it works for both neutral Rift Herald and the summoned one, by the way. Let's see what we need to talk about. About Jinx, ult minimum distance for maximum damage. Oh yeah, I made a short video about it. I guess I can show it again. There are two other things left, I would say. First, there are a couple tricks you can do with your Chompers. You can use them at the same time as your ultimate to cancel the animation of it. I never use this, it's just for style points, I guess. And then there are a couple funny spots where you can use your Chompers to get vision, but I hardly ever use Chompers for vision anyway. They're too valuable to throw away, you just have W for that. And the last thing on my list is something flashy that I actually use sometimes. It's knowing that you can flash while in W or R animation. It's just nice to know that you can flash if you need to while casting your ult. I only remember using this a couple of times, but I guess it helps. And this is everything from my list, but I don't just wanna end this video here. I mean, I worked on it for so many hours, it would be sad to end it with just that. So here's my most watched clips from my Twitch channel from the last 2 years of me streaming. What the fuck did I... What did I just witness? What killed me? Wow, you're so smart. Wow, you can still... How do you still... No way! Okay. Oh, I have what this is. How do I change this? W flash. Let's go! It worked.
Seasons that refuse to change over the years will find their way
Explosions!
back on track. We made a choice, go fight against your fate. Pain will come with the blade. Pain will wake up the despondent crowd in storm.
Come here, boy! You're not escaping me. There we go.
Unsheath the sword not to kill. Unsheath the sword to random. Clouds above the ground. Wake up, it's time to gather now.
You're mine. Let's go.
We have no end to know where they are headed for. See and lights on the fire, just blaze through the storm. We know it's right over there, something to spare. Whatever is arriving, we'll be prepared.
Oh, it's gonna stay. I'm gonna snipe too.
We made a choice, go fight
That's how it's done.
against your fate.
These are good for them.
Pain will come with the blade. Pain will wake up the despondent crowd in storm and world somehow. Unsheath the sword not to kill. Unsheath the sword to
It's just a croissant.
clouds above the ground. Wake up to kill.
It's got wood, right? Or maybe he deactivated it. Enjoy moving, bro.
Wait, you're not on Tonirel?
Okay.
Easy.
Okay.
Easy.
Wait,
Done.
I'm
5
Oh my god! Oh my god! You got deluxe weapon! You got deluxe weapon!
Yes! Wait, I have Diluc and I have his weapon. Guess who's becoming a Diluc
What
main?
did you roll on?
Like this.
Oh my god! What is wrong with you? It's like the most broken weapon for deluxe.
Why? What? What does it do?